Hey y'all, what's going on? It's your girl Louise, and I'm back. I am back. I had took a little break from social media, so now I am back, and we are gonna do a story time. So buckle up, listen up, and learn something. Okay? So sit back. It's gonna be a long one. You ain't got nothing to do no way, so just listen. Okay? So for the last like few months, I have not been really feeling like myself. I had kind of just, I didn't have any energy, didn't really want to do anything, didn't really want to go anywhere, was just kind of, yeah, kind of stuck. And so, if you follow me, I talked about how June was the last month at my last job. That was when we were going to be, officially laid off. And so, when they first told us that we were going to be laid off, some of my coworkers reacted, immediately. They were crying, they were upset, rightfully so. So they were really upset at the moment. Me, it didn't hit me at first. I kind of was just like, well, you know what? It is what it is. It's a business, whatever. So I just kind of like moved on and tried to like, go on day by day. Right. So it didn't really hit me until June the 5th. June the 5th was the last day that the children were going to be in the building. So when the parents started picking up their children, I started realizing, hey, this is the last time we're going to be here with our babies. And I just kind of lost it, and I'm being honest, when I mean lost it, I cried. I was upset. I cried at the center. I cried at home. I cried on the way home. So it was just really bad. And so I realized that I had been kind of falling into like a little depression, little bit by little bit. It wasn't all at once. It was little bit by little bit. And so when the children left, that's when it really just, the severity, and the reality of us not being in the building anymore, and us not being at that location, and us not having our job there anymore was real. Okay. And so for the last few weeks, I had just been kind of, just didn't want to do too much of anything. Like I said, I had no energy. I had no get up and go, no motivation, just kind of like, what the hell ever. Okay. I mean, just being honest. So I realized that a few things in me going through this, depression in my life. What I can honestly say is that I've acknowledged that it's depression, and I know now what I need to do to get over it. Before, I didn't even acknowledge that it was depression, you know. But I realized a few things in my depression journey, okay? Some of the things that happened, they were due to outside forces, and they were also due to some things that I should have been doing. For one thing, I had stopped, praying like I used to. I used to pray all the time, every day, several times a day. You know, I had stopped praying, had stopped talking to God, had stopped reading my word, had stopped, my relationship with God was definitely slipping. I still had one with him, but it was definitely slipping. Okay. Definitely that. So that was on me. And two, I didn't realize how pissed I was at my last job on how they did us. Because you can tell what it was. We were on a to do list. And what I mean by to do list, you can tell they came up there, they said, okay, we're going to send some emails, we're going to tell them what's going on, let them go, and then we're going to get back to Atlanta before traffic gets bad. They was just checking us off, just checking us off. We were just something to do. And it pissed me off because I've been there 5 years. And you had people who had been there way longer than I had, that had put so much into their company, had did things for the company, sacrificed for their company, And for them to just let us go like we were nothing, that I didn't realize how pissed off that made me. And it did. And it's almost like when they were telling us we were laid off, they was like, look, this is the way it is. I don't know what to tell you. Don't ask too many questions because we're really not going to answer them. But, it is what it is. And so there was no, like, appreciate you for, dedicating your life to this job. Appreciate you, for sacrificing your family sometimes when we needed you to come up there, on Saturdays to do events or to volunteer or to help, do things for the community. Appreciate that. It was just like, well, I'm sorry, this is the way it is. Have a good life. And so it just really, like I said, I'll say it one more time, it just pissed me off how they did us. And so I learned in that moment that one thing I will never do, if it's not my own business, I'm never going to put more into a company that trumps me, my life, or anything, for my family. Because, see, people will do you so wrong. They'll sit there and use you and, you'll do things for that company and work there and they just toss you aside. So I learned in that moment, if it's not my own business, I'm not going to sit up there and make any job top priority over anything in my life. I will go to work and do my job and do it to the best of my ability. But pouring into a job, just for, kicks and giggles, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Because, see, a lot of those people at my job put a lot into that company. And they just kind of just was like, oh, well, sorry. You'll get your unemployment papers when we, at the last day. But that's all we can give you. So, yeah. So that right there was another thing I had to get over. And I realized, too, in that moment, that it was basically another grieving incident. Even though it wasn't a person, loved one, it was still a loss just the same. And when you lose something, that is grief. And so I never really took the time to grieve the job. I didn't take the time to grieve it. I just kind of stacked it up in the corner, went on, applied for other jobs, did other things, made sure, everything was taken care of so that when I did leave, if I need to go on unemployment or get another job, that was all taken care of. But yet in the corner, grief was just stacking up. So I have realized that is what was going on with me as well. I was grieving and I didn't really realize that that's what it was. So I was just treating it like, the job just pissed me off, which they did piss me off, but it was a loss just the same. And so what I want you all to understand, in me being transparent, I don't need a welfare check or anything. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Trust me. But there were things in my life that led up to it. Just like another incident was I gained weight back in December. From December to like April, I put on like 25 pounds. I used to work out at least twice a week. I used to go to my little dance class and I used to work out and everything was cool. And it's like I even stopped doing that. And when I stopped doing that, I got heavier. That was something that made me depressed. And it's almost like it just piled on little bit by little bit. And before I knew it, it was just a little bit too much that I could bear. And so I have things in my life now that are set up so that I can be on a more productive journey. Depression is real, and depression sometimes will creep up. I mean, it's just the world we live in sometimes. And hey, let's be honest, this world is not exactly roses and peonies, okay? it really isn't. But in saying that, that's why you need to make sure you have things in place that help you keep your peace. One of the things that helped me stay in peace was my word, God. That always kept me in peace. My relationship with God was always something, no matter what I did, who I was with, what I did, what I wasn't doing, I always had a relationship with God. That's just who I am. I can laugh and kid and joke with y'all all day long. But at the end of the day, I know where my help come from. Okay? Now you can take that any way you want to. You do what you want to, but I just know for me, like I said, I'm all smiles and giggles and sweet and silly and fine. But I know who helps me. I know who provides for me. I know who helps me, who gives me my peace. That's gonna always be a part of me. Now it might slip every now and then, or my relationship might not be as tight as it needs to be, but I do have a relationship with God. That's never gonna change. And so that was something that I felt like was leaving me. And I don't want to say leaving, it just, my relationship with God was just not as tight as it was. And I knew when it stopped being not as tight, something was wrong. It was something wrong. And so what I had to do was what I call self checkups, where I go and check myself and see, okay, you doing this, you're not doing that, you're not with that person, you're doing this. You know, I had to make sure my self checkups, they do keep me grounded. And when I had stopped doing that, I realized I was in a little bit of trouble. True story, I was in a little bit of trouble. So I just want you all to know that it's okay. It's okay to be depressed, but don't stay there. Don't stay there. That's not what we need to be doing, is staying depressed. I mean, it's people you can talk to. If you need to talk to somebody, if you need to talk to a friend, if you need to talk to a pastor, if you need to talk to a co-worker, somebody you trust, talk to somebody. I mean, I'm not plugging this, but I know some Walmarts have therapy sessions, for like $60 an hour. You can go online. There are a plethora of online services of people you can talk to. You can even go to your local health department. They have mental health services. Don't stay in depression. There's too many resources for you not to be able to find some help for yourself. That's the main thing I want to tell you guys. And another thing is, check on your people. Check on your people. People might say, oh, I'm okay, or, I'm fine. And sometimes another thing too, it's okay not to be strong all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? Look, we ain't got to be strong every time. If somebody needs some help, if somebody says, well, can you do this for me? Or, can you help me? If you can't, no is always a word. And it's a word that sometimes we need to use. Because sometimes you be so busy trying to pour into other people, nobody's pouring into you. And see, when nobody is pouring into you, see, that's when you get low. And see, that's when everybody else is filled, their cups are full, and see, your glass is dry. Because, see, you're so busy pouring into other people. No, don't do that. Don't do that. It's okay it's okay not to answer your phone every now and then. Okay? It's okay. That's fine. Sometimes everybody that's calling you, you don't need to be pouring into, because sometimes you be pouring into the same people with the same situations. They're not getting any better. No, don't keep doing that. Make sure you are where you need to be first. Okay? And it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not be okay. Don't sit there and be depressed when there are resources out there to help you. Please don't do that. There's no need for that. I know we in the Black community, we have a stigma against therapy. I don't. I never have. As a matter of fact, that's one thing in my life that I am actually doing, is I'm setting myself up with a therapist. I have set myself up with a nutritionist. I have also decided that I think I'm going to change careers. I am at another job right now. It is definitely a learning curve. It's not a difficult job. It's just a different job. It's in the same sector of education that I've always been in, But it's definitely different. It is definitely different. Okay? So I am definitely looking into maybe switching careers. And that's another thing. It is never too late, ever too late to do something different. I'm 45 years old, and I thought about, you know what? I'm 45 years old and trying to switch careers right now and do something different. That don't even make no sense. But I'm like, if I'm supposed to retire when I'm 65, hell, I still got 20 more years to work. Yes, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. It's fine. Maybe it's what you need to do. Maybe sometimes the very thing that keeps us stuck is us. It's us. Sometimes we keep ourselves stuck, whether it be, at a job or in a home or with people. Sometimes you need to do like I said, a self checkup and see just what's going on. What is going on? So one thing I'm not gonna do is, I do like social media. I do like coming on, my different platforms and, talking to y'all. And hey, I'm cool with that. So I'm going to take y'all along on my journey. It's going to be ups, downs, hey, highs, lows, and everything in between. But I'm going to take y'all along with me. Because one thing about me, I'm going to always be is real and transparent. I mean, hell, what am I going to come on here and lie for? There is no need to come on here and lie. We all got problems. And we all have issues. It's up to us to deal with those issues. And it's up to us to make sure that we are where we need to be so that we can be there for other people. It is. It's up to us. And there's nothing wrong with, sharing things. There's nothing wrong with needing some extra help. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm glad we have resources now so that we can do other things besides stay and wallow and get worse. No. Like I said, I put on 25 pounds. Guess what? I don't want to be 25 pounds heavier, so I know what I need to do. But am I going to sit up there and track every single piece of food that goes into my mouth? Absolutely not. My thing is for me to be healthy. That is my goal, to be healthy. I'm not sitting there going to eat lettuce sandwiches and bean sprouts for dinner every day. Now, if that's what you do, good for you. But what I am saying is I will be more mindful in the choices that I make when it comes to how I eat and what I eat and what time I eat. I will definitely make better choices. And that's fine. I'm just trying to be a healthier me. And if a healthier me is me being 25 pounds less or 10 pounds less or 8 pounds less, guess what? That's fine. That's fine. So I just wanted to come and let y'all know what was going on with me. I know, knowing myself, like I said, I'm going to take you all on my journey from now up until, and I know me, I'm going to have more story times and I'm going to have more transparent moments because that's just who I am. That's just, hey, with me, you just get what you get. Hey, what my friends say, you get what you get and don't pitch a fit. That's just me. I don't even know any other way to be. But I want to let y'all know that it's okay not to be okay. And there are resources. Check into resources where you live. Check into resources at your job. You'll be surprised what your job offers, even if you have insurance. And if you don't have insurance, there are resources that you can use so that we don't have to be down so far that we are beyond help. You are never beyond help. Never. As long as God still sits on the throne, we're never beyond help. So let me just put that out there. So, anywho, I am so glad that you all have stuck with me, that you all have continued to ride with me. I appreciate all my supporters on all my platforms. I love you all. I hope you all stay safe. I hope you all be good to yourself and be good to everybody else around you. All right. I hope you all have a great evening and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.